LA, I love you, but you're bringing me down. You're not really bringing me down. You're really just reminding me of LA, I love you, but I don't want to live here. Rachel and I just went. It should have been a fun, classic LA outing. And it wasn't an unfun outing or anything. But we went to Canner's to have some middle of the night deli food because it's open 24 hours. We got this classic LA, you know, Fairfax District deli. Place that, for as long as I can ever remember, was always pretty full between 2 and 3 a.m. in the morning after the bars closed. Doesn't matter what day of the week it was, you know. And we went down there tonight. Showed up at like 2:30 a.m. The dining area is fucking closed. Yes, you can order takeout and get it to go, which we did. And yeah, it was good. Rachel looked nice, framed in between the palm trees.
Thanks.
You do look adorable.
Thanks. You look adorable too.
Ernestine's mom was right on the money with her earlier comments about your page boy haircut and summer ensemble you had on.
Oh, thanks.
I mean, sure. It's no ambush perfume plus a French twist.
That's hard to create.
Yeah. If it were 1955. What was the it thing in
my
1955?
God. If it was 1955,
We'd both be horribly underdressed.
and my hair would not fly. It would be up in a ponytail with that like voluminous.
What do you think people would think of your haircut if it were 1955?
Did your mom cut your hair?
You think they'd say your hair is too short?
Yeah.
Because 50s ladies
Well,
had to have longer hair, but they had hair that was up more, right?
Yeah. Well, like, okay. So if you think about it, a good example of it is in Greece. Sandy's hair was very popular, which took a lot of like time to do, but also Rizzo.
Uh-huh.
Her hair was very popular.
That was short, right?
Yeah. So, but just this like no coiffing, that was like kind of like.
You mean you had to cough a little bit?
Yeah.
When you're not coiffed.
I'm not.
Well, not only did you have to cough. No.
Oh. I wasn't gonna.
You weren't gonna put it in the hole.
No, I was just gonna ash it.
Okay, fine. I thought you were putting it in the hole. Don't
No.
put that one in the hole. I'll smoke that one down and then up.
Okay. Oh, excuse me. Didn't mean to blow smoke to your face.
Darling. Blowing smoke in my face is a compliment.
I can taste the
Yeah. Alright? And I don't know if you felt it. I got the hey.
I saw.
Why am I awake? That's a question we're asking ourselves as well. The answer we came up with was to live stream. You wouldn't be able to go to sleep anyway. You're lying to yourself.
Yeah, if you were to sleep, you would have been asleep already.
Mm-hmm.
And who knows, maybe you'll fall asleep like in the middle of the stream.
Although it's unlikely, because this extreme is going to be pretty, like, pulse, quickeningly exciting. You might whatever you want left with it, and then I'll try one more. See if I can get one more out of it. Oof. Well, that was nice.
That was nice.
That feels like an adventure on the Jungle Cruise at Disneyland.
Oh, how thrilling.
Yeah. You gotta watch out on the Jungle Cruise because wild animals pop up out of the water. They could eat you. You never know. So, anywho, LA, I love you, but you're bringing me down. LA, a better way to say it is not you're bringing me down, but LA, I love you, but I'm glad I don't live here. You have one viewer according to the count on my end. Wonder who that could be. Well, atypically, it's not me or Rachel this time.
Yeah.
So
I'm not
it
on
must
it.
be you. I'm guessing. Usually when there's one or two viewers, it's me and Rachel.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess that does qualify as viewing, but kind of double dipping there in the old retirement slush fund. Looks like Rachel's in the middle of the daytime in the jungle or something.
Yeah, it does.
Me,
You're in
I'm a creature of the night.
Yeah.
Back here in the shadows. This is an odd composition for the frame, right?
It is. I look so much closer than I actually am to it.
But yeah, I like this composition. It'd be a good way to shoot a scene in a movie.
It would be.
Like your line is, you gotta stop being so afraid of the jungle. You say that to me.
Gotta be so.
You
Gotta be so.
stop being so afraid of the jungle.
You gotta stop being so afraid of the jungle.
Listen, I'm fighting right here against this wall. The jungle's scary. Where's that light even coming from? See? Yeah, we just recorded a scene for our movie. It's called The Jungle and the Wall.
Yes, and I think that was a great idea.
Thanks.
Or
We should make a musical out of it.
I like that everything. Every idea that we've come up with is a musical.
Absolutely. Absolutely everything's a musical. Because every play is made better by making it a musical. Otherwise, it's just a play. Who wants to see a play? I remember one really good play I saw one time in England.
Well, in England that makes sense.
It was fantastic.
What was it called?
I don't remember.
Huh.
But I'd like to find out what it was called. I'd ask my parents, but they were dead. They're both dead. They were there with me.
Who is it that we looked up and we found out that they had like I think it's called EGOT? Yeah. An
EGOT?
Emmy, an Oscar, Grammy. Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony, EGOT, and we were like really surprised that the person got like had all of those.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I
I
have no idea
of
what you're
course
talking
I was
about.
like, oh, I didn't know that person had an EGOT either.
What's an EGOT?
So that's like
An
it's the
Emmy, an Oscar,
an Emmy,
a
an
Grammy,
Oscar, Grammy,
a
and a
Tony. Oh,
Mhm. So
okay.
it's like
Okay. Who has an EGOT?
I can't remember.
Is it
It's-
an egret?
It's a very rare thing to have.
You got to be killing it in music, movie, TV, and plays.
Mhm.
That's a tall order.
Yeah, it is.
Good copulations were had. Yes, they were. But that was a long time ago. Doesn't take that long to have copulations. We had copulations, then we went to Cantors in the Fairfax district down there, like Beverly Hills. That's where I want to be. Living in Beverly Hills. It took us 32 minutes to get there. Unbelievably fast. You cannot get to Cantors in 32 minutes from Arcadia anytime except Monday night at 2 in the morning.
It's true.
We made phenomenal time in both directions, but that's LA time, you know? For me, time changes when I'm in LA. When we're at home, I gotta go all the way to the Triangle Market. That's like 15 minutes from here. We gotta go all the way to town? Oh my god, town's 30 minutes from here. Let's hop on the freeway and go to Cantors right now. It's only half an hour drive. Jesus. That's just pocket change time in Los Angeles driving terms. But, you know, your perspective changes in different places, right? Of course. We get there, and we don't get the experience we had planned for. Instead, we get reinforced the notion that I've long held that LA is shitty now. All the fun of it is dead. Used to be going to Cantors Tuesday morning at 2:30 a.m. It's full of drunks and partiers and hipsters having a good time after
There must have been like industry people there too, right?
Yeah,
like,
industry people. Yeah, all sorts of people there. People up in the middle of the night, you know. Nowadays, dining area is closed. We got a DoorDasher coming in and out, and a couple of people, us and another person in there, getting food to go. Probably he too, or possibly he too, was like, "Oh, you're not open? Just sit down." Or when did this happen? You know. It's just that kind of thing has been happening to Los Angeles even a little before COVID, but it just tupled down with COVID on that shit. And it's like there's no freewheeling fun to be had anywhere around here. Everything's curated and structured. And this is as perfect a trip to LA as could possibly be imagined. But it's like the city's heart is dead. There was nothing going on anywhere. Everywhere we drove. Okay, sure. It's 2:30 in the morning on Tuesday morning, early Tuesday morning, late Monday night. But still, this is Los fucking Angeles. How many millions of people are there in this city? And there is absolutely nothing at all happening anywhere. There's no taco trucks out. There's no, it's just nothing. Dead as dead could possibly be. Yeah, something died in March 2020 and never came back. That's what I said too. It was like COVID extupled it down, but it was trending that way anyway a little bit, but not anything like what it is now. It's like, I don't care that nothing's open in the middle of the night in Mariposa. I don't want anything to be open in the middle of the night in Mariposa. I'm there to not be in a city, right? But if I'm in a city, be a fucking city. Alright? It's like, what are the advantages of being in a city if you go out at 2:30 in the morning and even in the most famous 24-hour place in all of Los Angeles County, where hipsters, ravers, partiers of all ages, from time immemorial, have gathered between the hours of 2 and 3 a.m. every day of the week, 24/7, 365, that place is open, only to discover it's not anymore. Not tonight. No, you can't sit down. There's no dining. What? Even Cantor's? Even Cantor, in the middle of the second biggest city in the country. You gotta be fucking kidding me. What happened to adulthood? You know? Meanwhile, the advantages of living in the country, have lost nothing, right? You never had an advantage of nightlife in the middle of the night in the country in the first place. Concurrently, we have almost all the advantages of the city. We're about to get fiber internet. And sure, the power is a little spotty. But that's part of the fun. We got a generator and everything, you know? It's not that big of a deal. I just fucking crank that thing up. All of a sudden, our kitchen's all electrified again. We run a couple of extension cords. We got the internet and the TV and the laptop and everything plugged in. We're good to go. The only thing we don't have is air conditioning. Boo-hoo. Our house is extremely well insulated, so it's already chilly when the power shut off.
Yeah, that's true.
We go outside at night, it's dark. You can look at the sky and see stars and shit, you know? We drive around, we see wild turkeys and wild quails, deers, and a lot of squirrels.
Yeah, so much squirrel that, like...
So many squirrels.
Yeah. I'm sure right now, especially with all the sunflower seeds.
Yeah.
A lot of blue jays too.
You know, it's a neighborhood in the old-fashioned sense of the word. Rachel and I were talking about our Christmas party we're planning coming up for December the 9th. And how we might go caroling. It's a sort of neighborhood where you could conceivably go caroling to a couple of houses and people would be excited and welcoming, you know, be cool about it, not be like, what are you doing? What are you weirdos doing? Which is, I think, what would happen around here, you know?
Yeah.
I think the response to caroling would be, what are you weirdos doing? But anyway, it seems very plausible in our current neighborhood, you know? I'd like to get to know more of our neighbors more. We'd probably successfully do that if we were to walk around more. We could start walking the circle. You know, it'd be good for us anyway to get some exercise. Hey, I was telling Delilah too. She's saying she gets headaches a lot. She needs to get some fucking exercise is all it is.
I mean,
She's always complains about everything.
her body is like,
I don't know how seriously to take it. Like,
I think she's, I don't know, she regularly goes to the doctor, so you know how like doctors say like if you're there for a thing, they'll find it.
right, yeah, I don't know how much of it is
So
her
I
just
think
getting
some
into
of
this
it-
whole medicalization of everything thing, or how much of it is legitimately. I don't doubt that she's got various aches, pains, whatever, but my question is, like, what is she comparing it against? You know? And she says she's got a migraine.
Migraines I sympathize with, like, because my mom used to get debilitating migraines.
Yeah, but it seems like Delilah never seems to be feeling good, you know? She's always got some kind of problem that she's talking about.
I think that might be because of SE first. Like, she's just like, go, go, go. And then, like, but you know what? Honestly, I don't know what it is because she knocked, like, so like the day of the wedding, she knocked her either knee or I think, yeah, her knee into the side of the black room's bed. And like I almost did it one day and I was like, oh my god, like if I banged my knee into that would like really hurt. So like it's just like a swoop, and if you move like a certain way.
So what's the point? Did she press a lot of ow or not very much?
She did tell me that she's like, and I hit my knee into the bed upstairs. And I was like, oh.
Well, the thing is, the lack of conscious SI
Yeah.
makes me think, I'm not sure what to make of her self-reporting about her, like, headaches, assorted problems that she purportedly has, you know?
Yeah.
And like you said, if you're seeking a lot of doctor attention for various little things, they're gonna find something to go with your symptoms. So I don't know. Obviously, I hope she's healthy and well. If she gets off on having imaginary health problems, that's preferable to her having actual health problems.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's hard to say. I'm sure she'd be deeply offended by me questioning the legitimacy of her health problems. But hopefully she won't watch this live stream. And it's not like I question it actively, it's just I don't know what to make of it. It's like if it were me having health problems as multitudinous and sufficient enough to complain about as she has, I would be demanding a solution. Alright? But I don't get the sense that she's really demanding a solution. So I don't know what to think of that.
That's why, yeah, maybe you're right. Exercising might be good for her.
Like if I start feeling bad enough to complain about it, I'll be starting to take some sort of action about it. Like having to pee too often during the night. But even then I tested something. I thought, oh, maybe I have diabetes. So I quit eating sugar for a couple of days. Didn't make any difference.
Oh yeah, you did. It didn't make any difference.
Mm-mm. No, it wasn't that. I just have to get it. And is it?
Out.
I don't think so. I'm not planning on it at the moment. But I wouldn't entirely rule it out. One never knows. One never knows what one's going to do 5 seconds from now. That's an impossible question to address. Brainworms at the level of civilization. Yeah. Well, civilization's undergoing some growing pains. It's fair to say. Um, this is the sort of topic that would probably do well as a subject for a book. It would probably be fairly popular. It would probably be guilty of a little bit of platypusing, but the idea that our transition from a gatekeeper information economy to democratized one didn't just destabilize unanimity on the truth among the general populace. It destabilized it among the gatekeepers, which I think was an unexpected result. So I think to the extent that people have talked, and they certainly did quite a bit about, and have quite a bit, and probably still do quite a bit, about the role of transitioning from a gatekeeper model of information, I guess dissemination or whatever you want to call it, to a decentralized one. The concern's always positioned in the role of the correct understanding gatekeeper worrying about the ignorant masses and their inability to handle what is viewed by them as a misinformation campaign accidentally executed by the stupid. But what the reality has been revealed by it is that all sorts of stuff that everybody thought was properly gatekeeped is ambiguous, nebulous, often completely bullshit, etc. That in fact the gatekeeping process wasn't doing its job at all, and that the sense of comfort with what is known, what is theorized, what is hypothesized, what is believed, what is posited, what is imagined, what is, the difference between those things being pretty clear cut was always illusory in the first place. What's nebulous mean? Confusing, complicated, mixed together in a way that's harder to deconstruct. No. Nebulous doesn't mean all-encompassing. It means those things I said it means. So the thing is, it's like, I used to affirm evolution for most of my adult life until like maybe 10 years ago or something, right? The expected thing by pundits, intellectuals, gatekeepers, is that the problem is going to arise because idiots are going to be swayed by other idiots against the science of evolution. The reality of it is, the reality of it is that it's allowed smart people like me to actually evaluate the justifications of evolutionists on their merits and found them lacking. That's not what the gatekeepers ever anticipated happening. The gatekeepers' false frame of reference that the problem here is idiots convincing other idiots of wrong things is also evident in the COVID debacle, right? Well, because COVID is the side of science and anti COVID is the side of non science and blah, blah, blah. Well, what was exposed there is that we can't trust that gatekeeping process at all. That, in fact, this glaring methodology problem was published globally at a 10 times higher fatality rate than the thing actually had. And that we were told that we were waiting for a vaccine and that one had been made. And at no point has there been any acknowledgement that, in fact, it was a complete failure. And people still refer to it as a vaccine or the vaccine, even though it's definitely not a vaccine. Because vaccines prevent people from getting diseases. Like close to 100% of the time. For close to 100% of the people, there's a complete prevention of them ever getting the disease. That's what a vaccine does. So, it's like, it's a weird, unexpected reality that we face where the problems anticipated are somewhat manifest as well. Idiots seeking out other idiots' idiocy to double down on their own idiocy is in fact a phenomenon, and is a phenomenon that's empowered by decentralized information. But of more significance, interest, and perhaps concern is the fact that all these things that we had accepted as solid, definite, determined by science, etc., have not withstood the scrutiny of becoming objective data, right? Because prior to the internet, yes, they were objective data, but to access it, you had to go to a library. And nobody goes to the library on a whim and gets sucked down a rabbit hole. That's something you can do on Google easily enough. Well, I wonder why this about evolution. And you start digging, and all of a sudden it's like, oh my god. They call this a theory? Do they not know what the word theory means? Anyway, that's been my experience with the internet is that rather than revealing so much the gullibility of individuals to disinformation, although it's confirmed that, which we already were well aware of, it's the vulnerability of what we thought was reliable because it followed certain protocols, like double blind testing and stuff like that. Well, those things are more reliable than, say, uncontrolled testing, just like testing by whim. But they require you to have accounted for every possible vector besides one that you change from the control group to the test group. That inherently right there poses a big problem.
Okay, would you call this makeup blended?
No.
Thank you.
Okay. The thing is, this stuff I don't blame anybody at all, like, even me. Although I'd be happy to blame me for there only being two people here right now. But this stuff I'm saying right now about whatever I was just talking about, it's fucking gold. It's good stuff.
Thanks. I just got someone posted on bad
makeup artists. Whoa, and then a picture of this woman, and all the pictures have to be taken from a makeup artist's page. Like, you can't just like get like a novice. It can't just be like someone experimenting because they want to be like
Right, sure.
and they put at the bottom, this is a lot to take in. And I was like, she does not look happy. None of the eye makeup is blended. It really is a lot to take in. And then someone said to me, girl, the foundation may not look as clean as it could be, but personally, I think the eye makeup is blended so well, it's so clean. It's a colorful, dramatic glam, but she was going for sparkles, to each their own sparkles.
Okay, yeah, but which side of that argument do you want, lady? Do you want her to be, yeah, it's not blended, but that's what she's going for? Or do you want it to be, it's actually really well blended? You can't have both those things, you dummy. You see how that lady tried to do that?
Yeah.
Trying to have both those things? Like, oh, it's blended beautifully, and oh, she's not really trying to blend it, and it's her own look, and to each their own. Well, which is it? Is it blended beautifully, or is she not trying to blend it? Or are you just being like FI?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. You're just being FI, lady. How dare you reply to Rachel with anything other than, you're a wonderful woman, Rachel.
Thanks. I just try to contribute to these like places that I like visit on Reddit.
You contribute just by glancing in their direction.
Thanks. I try to be.
I thought your comment was just fine. That lady was just being too FI.
Yeah, for sure.
How FI is too FI? Even this FI. It's already too FI.
Like, I feel like when I was like 16 and playing with makeup, like I did that to my eyeshadow before I made that mistake. It's a mistake that happens, but if it's a makeup artist, I mean,
Well, maybe she's a good makeup artist who's just choosing to do bad makeup art. That's possible. Maybe her demonstration is what not to do.
It could be.
You could imagine a makeup artist who's good at being a makeup artist, also knowing how to do it badly, demonstrating that, saying, don't do it like this. You could conceive of that happening, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt if there's a makeup artist out there who maybe has done something like that.
Well, not for nothing, but that kind of look is apparently very trendy in Ireland.
And the parts of Ireland with particularly poor taste. The Irish who live on the moors are known for their poor fashion taste. That's why they're never invited to the French runway shows. The official reason is you're going to get more mud on our carpets, but the real reason is they know the Moorish people from Ireland cannot be trusted with anything related to fashion or cosmetics.
Wow.
Yeah.
I learn something new every day.
Also, it's very easy to get lost in the moors. You know, you could be walking around, hunting snipe,
Oh my god.
take a wrong step, and just you get sucked right down below the moors, and you disappear forever.
no.
Yeah, so don't go trotting around the moors without snowshoes and a rescue beacon. Ideally, one that pulls you to the surface so that you can breathe. Yeah. Or you bring a tank of oxygen with you. Potentially, if you wanted to.
Could that stop you from going into the moors?
No, it would let you survived a little bit in the moors while the rescue beacon attracted your rescuers.
You think about having to conserve your breath too. Like you can't just be like willy nilly like yelling out. I mean that might be the.
Well, if you're underwater, yelling's
God.
not going to do you any
Oh
good.
my god.
If you've been sucked down all the way underneath your head, that's why you have a tank of oxygen with you.
Okay.
Now you've been sucked down in the moors, you're underneath the water, it's just moss on top of you.
Oh
So
my god.
where did they go? But you've got a scuba tank when you're breathing. You also have a rescue beacon. And you shot it out and it pops up above the water and it blinks a light and it sends a GPS signal and says, help, rescue me. So then you just have to wait there under the water breathing your oxygen and hope they get there before you die of hypothermia.
So for some reason in my head, this looks like a Wes Anderson film.
Well, I'm picturing it's possible to survive quite some time in the moors if you're clad in heavy woolen clothing. Let's say a woolen sweater and some heavy woolen pants, some woolen socks, and a woolen hat that ties underneath your chin. Now, and some woolen mittens. Okay, now you imagine yourself submerged and underneath, all the way above your head in the moors in Ireland. Are you going to survive? You have a tank of oxygen. You got a scuba tank on because you were thoughtful before you went walking around the moors. You put on a scuba tank, obviously. Now, you're underneath the water. You've got all these woolen clothes on, and you have your oxygen. How long can you last before the hypothermia kills you? Well, I'm going to say quite a while. And the reason I'm going to say quite a while is because do you know that wool, even when it's soaking wet, retains something like 60% of its heat retaining capacity. So, if you're going to be clad in something when you get submerged in the moors with your scuba tank, I'd recommend being clad in heavy woolen clothing. This will extend your lifespan beyond the normal, like 20 minutes till you die of hypothermia that would normally be the case, to maybe an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours even, maybe. Now that's going to give your rescuers time to get there. Now note, they're going to bring a St. Bernard. He's going to have a little barrel of liquor on his neck. Even though it's cold and they're encouraging you to drink it. Eric, do not drink the St. Bernard liquor. Just because you've been trapped in the moors in your woolen clothes with your scuba gear for 3 hours is not a good enough reason to drink.
No, it's not.
You can just hug the St. Bernard to get warm if you want. St. Bernards are notoriously warm dogs.
Mm.
Their natural body temperature,